Well, all right then. It's time to. This woman over here is going to make me laugh. It's time to do what we like to call our how-to segment. It's one of my favorite segments. This is like episode, what are we on, John? Like 3 or something like this. We did how to cruise.
722.
Oh, 722. Okay. I thought we just got started. We're just getting warmed up.
My nightmares.
So it's our how to travel segment. I thought that Paula would be the perfect person from the Hertz Corporation to be here. Thank you for being here, Paula Rivera.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Paula, so the Hertz Corporation, if you're going to rent a car from the majors out there, you basically are only dealing with like 3 companies, right? I mean, for major.
In my world, it's one company.
Well, sure, yes. I'm aware of the one
but you are
for.
correct. There is a few national companies that are very reputable and good to rent from.
Right, and that's where, because they kind of ate each other up a little bit. You know, they still do multiple brands, but the Hertz doesn't do anything else, right? It's just Hertz, or is it Hertz and somebody else?
Well, actually...
If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, no, I don't. Actually, earlier this year, we bought Advantage Rent-A-Car.
Oh.
Out of bankruptcy, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Nobody sent me an email on that. I'm sorry I missed a memo on that.
Oh.
Advantage
I'll
is
hand
nice.
deliver it next time.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, it was in my inbox. It was under that birthday cake from May. I'm telling you.
Here's the memo.
Oh, look at that. They bought Advantage. That is fascinating. I'm telling you, we're idiots.
So, and we actually did that because Advantage is a very strong online company, and people who tend to shop online look for price.
I see.
And Hertz tends to, we're competitively priced amongst the nationals, but when you want to pay $20, $25 a day and have few frills, shall we say, or bells and whistles, that was able to help us fill that niche.
Oh, nice. And
yes.
And you know, we talk a lot about that too. You know, people say, you know, you definitely can find the deals out there. 2009 is a great year for deals, and it's a pretty simple supply and demand kind of issue. And the rental car business is basically the same. So when the demand goes down, the cars just sit there, and Hertz doesn't make any money if the cars sit there. So you'll see some of those lower prices. So that's good. So when people, I think we should talk first of all, things have changed a little bit in the rental car business in that now we can be checking in right online. We can make the reservation online, and we can check in online just like your airplane, right?
Exactly. Just like the airlines do. You can check in online. You could do it right after you make the reservation, or if you're not traveling for a couple months, you could do it the day before or before you leave your home or office. Check in online, and then what we do at about 50 major airports, the places that most people travel to, we have kiosks.
Oh, nice.
So as opposed to standing in line, you go to a self-service kiosk, swipe your credit card, swipe your driver's license, get your keys, and you're on your way.
And you theoretically don't have to even see a salesperson, right?
Correct. We have one kind of
around
just in case customers need help.
Nice.
But yeah, technically you could get away without dealing with us.
I was going to say, how times have changed. That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
It is. And actually, those folks who check in online, we guarantee they'll be on their way in 10 minutes.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
That's a great guarantee.
It is. It is.
Do you guys beat that? How well do you do on that?
We do very well.
We should talk car type.
Okay.
I think that's really important because also the car rental companies have decided it's no longer small, medium, and large, right?
Right, and Hertz is really leading that way.
I love that. That's why we have you here.
We actually started doing this back in 2001. We launched what's called the Prestige Collection. And we figured because these are high-end cars, such as the Cadillac Escalade, the Hummer, we have Audis and Mercedes in the Prestige Collection, we figured if you want a Cadillac Escalade, that's what you want.
Right.
You're not going to accept the or other.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good point.
So what we did with the Prestige Collection is we made it make and model reservable.
Okay.
So with any of our collections, we have a Prestige Collection, a Fun Collection.
Love that. I rent from that collection.
And a Green Collection.
Oh, okay.
So if you rent from one of those collections, you can specifically state which car from the collection you want, and that's the car you'll get upon arrival.
Okay.
So in the good old days, it used to be small, medium, or large.
Yeah, you get the economy or whatever it is. Yeah, but now we can decide what kind of car.
Exactly.
I like that. All right, so we pick it up. How about the insurance? How do we handle the insurance? It's kind of it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of proposition, correct? It's
not a one-size-fits-all. There's a lot of factors that consumers need to bear in mind, and the first thing is they really need to do their homework.
Yeah.
So many people get to the counter and they're like, well, I don't know if my insurance covers me. And then they look at our rep or any car rental rep and they say, do I need it?
Yeah.
And the rep really has no way of telling because insurance policies and credit card policies vary.
And that's the other thing. That's a good point because a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, this is on my. I get this protection with my credit card." Well, provided you use that credit card.
Right.
You can't just by carrying the card get the protection.
Exactly. Exactly. So our representatives don't know if you're covered with your insurance or with your credit card. So the best thing to do is do a little legwork before you leave and find out.
Yep.
If you decide, and a lot of the credit cards have stipulations. So if you decide I have enough coverage, then fine. You don't need to get the optional insurance.
Why would you do that?
If you don't, or maybe if you're renting a prestige car that I know some credit cards won't cover.
Okay.
Or
good point.
You just don't want to have to worry of if something does happen, it's now going to reflect on my insurance.
Now, on this very note, I got to tell you, I always get full insurance because I don't carry auto insurance because I don't own a car, right? Because I live in Manhattan.
I actually personally take the LDW out because I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, well, you don't need the.
And the nice thing is I'm a AAA member, so there's a discount on all the insurance products.
That's the other thing that people need to understand too. They gotta, if they don't ask, no company in their right mind is going to say, would you like to pay less? Well, let's work that out. No, you have to say, is there some sort of a discount?
Exactly.
Military, AARP, AAA,
exactly.
AA, I don't know, whatever.
Exactly. When you said military, we work quite closely with USAA, which is the U.S. Automobile Association.
Okay.
Primarily for military folks. So exactly, if you're in the military, even if you're a doctor and you belong to, what is it, the Medical Society?
Yeah.
AMA,
American Medical
AMDA or
Association.
something.
Yep.
Thank
AMA.
you, yes.
Which I am, by the way.
Yeah. So a lot of associations have deals with us as well. So definitely, but with the insurance, AAA gives you a discount. My theory is, how comfortable are you driving that car? If it's the same similar car to what you're driving at home, you're probably very comfortable. If it's someplace you've gone numerous times.
That's the other point too. You got to make sure, you need to make sure you know where you're going. We can get the GPS if you want, which is great. But at the end of the day, I still think you ought to know where you're going. So many people get into cars and they're like, well, I just punch in the address into my GPS. And then they end up lost because they don't know how to read or understand the GPS.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a big, you need to know where you're going. And you don't want to leave those maps out on the seats. Car rental companies no longer put their stickers on the cars, which just screams tourist. So they stopped doing that. But if you leave a bunch of maps all over, the criminal element will notice that.
Right. Or as we were talking earlier, you think you're putting on your signal and suddenly the windshield wipers go off.
Well, I can't tell you how many times. Now, I'm only saying this because I've done this a number of I go and they rent these cars. I get behind the wheel and I realize I don't really have any idea where anything is. So you got to do that. You check out, you get your car, and then go to the parking lot and look around. Windshield wipers, headlights, and all that
mirrors.
stuff. Mirrors.
Can you see out of the mirrors?
Yeah, it seems like silly, but like 9 times out of 10, you're getting from the airport, you're going to be getting on an interstate.
Exactly.
And you don't want to be going 70 miles an hour and not know where the windshield wipers are. Which has happened to me, which is not, I know, I'm making fun of it because that is like one of the most dangerous things you could possibly do to you and the other drivers around.
Exactly.
So it does take time 10 minutes, 5 minutes just to look around, right? That's all it is. Definitely. Well, that's easy. And then bring it back, gassed up, bring it back, correct?
It depends on the type of trip you're doing. Okay. I tend to purchase the fuel purchase option. This is me personally.
Okay.
And then I make a game out of bringing it in on 0.
You drive around for like an hour and a half around.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, they're gonna love me.
No, nothing. You push it in on fumes.
Right. But if you're familiar with the area and you know where the gas stations are, and or if you're going on a very short trip, either fill up before you return or some people like to just return the car.
Paula, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we go? We really have to go.
Okay, my husband Tony asked me to say hello to him.
That's for
That's
you,
going to be cut from the real thing.
Yeah, we're going to take that right out. No, we're not. I love it. Paula, thank you, dear.
Thank you so much.
Come back and talk this. I love this subject matter.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
You can drive a car ride in next time.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Would you ever do car sharing?
Of course I. What do you mean?
We launched car sharing, Connect by Hertz.
What is that? Oh, now see, she's already built in a brand new segment. All right.
But that's kind of a little different market than car rental.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, we have to talk about that.
And I'll get a car and you can see how cool it is.
I love this. This is brilliant.
We'll take it to the streets.
We're going to take it to the street like the Doobie Brothers next time. That's going to be marvelous. Thank you.
Thank you so much.